Welcome back everybody to Forza Motorsport. So I decided to just do this one-off video because the track became available and I love driving this 2002 Lotus Esprit V8 on this track, and it is Le Mans. So yeah, it's the one with the chicanes in it on the main straight. So it's the more modern one, not the older version of Le Mans, but still this car is fantastic on this circuit. I've won on here a couple of times now, and yeah, it's purely because it's just such a fast accelerating car. Got a good rate of top speed. It can do 209, 210 miles an hour thereabouts, and yeah, the handling and braking isn't half too shabby either considering the age of the car. So yeah, that's the power output that we've got: 585 horsepower, 447 pounds-feet of torque from now 3.5 litre V8 twin turbocharged engine, and it only weighs 2,375 pounds, which is a ridiculously low amount of weight for such a large amount of power. You're talking about, you know, late period Gallardo levels of power in a car that weighs nowhere near as much. And yeah, let's just quickly take a look at the stats on this car. So yeah, 0 to 60, nearly 3.6 seconds, 0 to 100 in just over 6.1 seconds. And like I said, yeah, 213 mile an hour top speed there, which is pretty damn great. So yeah, we may as well just go into qualifying. We'll likely not to get all three in, because it depends on how long it's going to take for do each lap. You've got 3 laps, and yeah, you've only got about 13 minutes to play with left. So yeah, but let's see what the car can do regardless. Pretty sure, oh dear, pretty sure the tyres are a little bit on the short side of thing by the time we get past the second lap. So, but it sure should put in a good showing first lap round. It still sounds great. It's got a lovely surge to it when we are accelerating. Thanks to those turbochargers. Now in qualifying, people are you can't hit other cars, so we've got no worries about overtaking or anything like that, which is only a good thing. That is not the case during practicing though, so you have to really watch out when practicing in this game. Right, let's see what this car's made of on the straights. Typically you can get up to about 209 on this first straight. Let's see if we can do that again. That's 200 at least. That's 209, that's where I usually brake at. Because as light as this car is, we don't have the best of brakes. And the car does tend to like to squirrel out a little bit in terms of oversteer. It's just because it's got more weight at the rear than it does at the front, despite having quite large rear tyres. Going to crack 200 mile an hour on this bit. Obviously not quite as quick as the first one because it's a bit shorter. Still pretty good. Pretty sure that's a Hellcat up front, which has even more power than we do, and yet we're keeping up with it in terms of acceleration and speed. Looks like we'll probably definitely better through the corners than that car. Careful where you wander on this track, because you can very easily go off the track and get a penalty, like we somehow have. I don't know how we got that. That triangle was not there at the start of the race, which is a bit of a shame, because the first lap was going to be the best lap with the amount of grip that we'll have on offer. I think we can put in a good showing on our second lap. Third lap, less likely to do so because the tyres will be quite worn by that point. This track really puts tyres through the meat grinder with the amount of speeds that you're getting up to. Charger there going wide. Love the sound of this car. Bye, Charger. Keep up with this Brit supercar. For the corners at the very least. Except for that corner. A little bit shoddy on that corner. Goodbye, whatever you are, Subaru. Yeah, BRZ. We had a really quick time there, but obviously we were a dirty time, so therefore, even though we technically are in second, we would not get that position in the grid on the start of the race. So if we can put in that kind of time again, then we'll hopefully stay in that position. But obviously our tyres are nowhere near as in good health as they were to start with, which isn't helpful. That we are going to have a quicker time at this rate, nearly a second ahead of the first lap. So yeah, fantastic car this. I highly recommend upgrading this car into S-Class, which is the race that we're in right now. It's probably not the most competitive of vehicles on most tracks, but it really does work here, I find. As you can see, we're nearly 5 seconds ahead of third place, and yeah, we have a dirty lap, but we didn't cheat in any significant way as far as I can recall. Don't seem to remember cutting any corners or anything. Might have been because we had that slight late braking incident before we started the first lap. That might have been where the dirtiness has come from. Surges out of corners. You could swear this was an all-wheel drive car with the way it surges out of corners, but obviously it's not, as evidenced by some of the oversteer moments. But yeah, it really does surge out of corners like an all-wheel drive car. It's properly quick and it's given room. Yeah, as you can imagine, I've done a lot of upgrades on this car to get it to where it is. Not just in terms of obviously the engine, but the tyres, suspension, reducing the weight, and such. Probably not the best way to upgrade this car, but it's the way that works for me, especially when it comes to this track.
Starts in 5 minutes.
Hey, we got into first. There's no real point in doing this next lap because look at our tyres, 3 of the 4 are worn and the 4th one's not far behind. But yeah, that is yeah, great to be honest. So So we'll quit. No real point doing that third lap, we'll just be all over the place. So yeah, we only are just slightly ahead of whoever's in second with whatever car they are driving. What are they actually in? Actually, no, won't tell me that by doing that. Continue. Should tell me here, I think. Or maybe I'll have to wait until we start. Lola number 6T70. So he's in an actual racing car and we're ahead of them. So yeah, that's really, really impressive in terms of what that car can do. Not all down to me, a lot of it is down to the car itself. And as you can see, we do have slightly more in the way of acceleration and speed than the Lola, so maybe that's where we're gaining a lot of time, but they do have the far better braking and handling than we do. Then you got an F40 in third. Again, better handling and braking than we do, and it actually does have better acceleration and speed as well, so not sure how they're not doing any better than that. And then we've got an X8220 now that is in third. Less acceleration than we do, but again, better braking and keeps swapping around. Yeah, it does have better braking and handling than we do, but we have the better acceleration, but also the worse top speed. But top speed doesn't wholly come into this. If you can crack 200 mile an hour in those first straights in between the chicanes, then you will, yeah, still be pretty damn quick on this circuit. Who else have we got? We've got a Celine S7LM, very impressive car. Again, better handling and braking than we do, but way worse acceleration and top speed. We've got a Mercedes AMG GT. About the same in terms of handling, better in terms of braking, slightly worse in terms of acceleration and top speed. Then a Ford GT. Again, better in terms of handling and braking, worse in terms of acceleration, but way better in terms of top speed, but I really doubt that car's able to use most of that top speed. Then the Subaru that we overtook before, yeah, worse in every regard than we are. So yeah, the competition is pretty stiff in terms of the Lola, the Jag, the Celine in terms of the handling and braking, but not much else. The Ferrari's definitely a one to watch out for, just because it's got pretty much everything better than us. And the Ford GT, I'd say they're the ones to look out for. But yeah, that is yeah, that's qualifying done with. I'm not sure how much longer have we got. We've got another minute 40, so I'll see you when we start the race. Right, here we are at Le Mans, so yeah, let's see what we can do for this race. Now granted, obviously hot lapping is one thing, you can hot lap and be the best in the world in that regard, but obviously that's not something that's going to come into the race entirely on its own. You can hot lap all you like, and you won't necessarily be the best when it comes to an actual physical race, because you know you've got the pressure of other people racing you, and you've got the likelihood of crashes and like that, and that can all scupper you. But obviously being at the pole position on the grid is going to give you an advantage to some degree. And yeah, we're up against the Lola still in second place, as you can see, so it's quite a formidable car that is, but I'm hoping that we have the edge in terms of the top speed and acceleration enough to make up for our handling and braking deficit over that car. That's the one to watch out for, to be honest, but again, it all depends on how you get off the line, and yeah, how the car performs in the first few corners. So this is going to be quite tense, but it should be fun, hopefully, if the game works and nobody's an arsehole, basically. The acceleration coming in, those turbochargers are firing up to get us ahead of the Lola. Comes in sharp on the corner. Wide. Gonna get a big penalty for that, I imagine. Yeah, there's, well, not big, but gets a penalty, and that will harm them. Jag or whatever has gotten a big penalty as well. Now we're going to reel him in with our top speed. And obviously the Ferrari could do a 201 originally. Whether or not it's been upgraded to the point where it can do more than that, we'll have to see. Oh, he screwed that up. Not sure what that's... Is it in XJ? Something or another? It's for Jaguar regardless. Still everything to play for. There's only 2-ish seconds between us and first. We were obviously gaining on. Everyone is pretty much gaining on them, to be honest, because we've all got better top speed than they do, but they will have the handling and the braking. Gained up massively. Again, more penalties for those in front. None for us so far, none for 5th place behind us. First place has gained even more penalties. Shove over and quite clearly come up. Oh dear, that went wrong. Really wrong. Oh, that really went wrong. Oh dear. I'm not really showing off the benefits of this Lotus, am I? Yeah, it does get quite snappy when you lose it. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. I still think that Jaguar, well the Lola for starters, pushing us, not quite frankly getting out of the way, being the much slower car, didn't help, and then the Jaguar coming on the inside also didn't help. And then when we tried to pass the Ferrari, again, that did not help. Probably too much of a tricky manoeuvre to pull off, quite frankly, with the limits and track that we had. Still, if we can gain some places, then I'll be happy with that. Through 4GT.
Last lap. Let's go.
The Nissan's all over the place. Through Nissan. Come on, let's gain on 5th at the very least. What the hell are you doing? Idiot. imagine that Toyota's got more power than handling. The way something's that fast and it doesn't have compromises. And the amount of penalties it's got mean that we can just pretty much keep up with it, and the penalties lead us into that position. Toyota's got way more acceleration and speed than it was handling and braking. It's struggling around these corners, and that therefore means it's not going to be able to get ahead of us enough to make up for its penalties. Cheater. Still didn't work though, because you got 11.6 seconds of penalties there for your incompetent attempt to get ahead of us. Yeah, look at that, dropped all the way back there because he's cut that corner. So yeah, we got 5th place, down 4 positions, still top 5, but yeah, it was a combination of my fault in terms of, you know, trying to keep up with everyone, and also the Lola for, quite frankly, being in the way when, you know, I was clearly the faster car and on that straight, and it's not hard to keep to one side on a straight at the end of the day. So yeah, because I grazed past them, and then the Jaguar made an advantage over us over the fact that we had to slow down when we grazed against them. So yeah, we just got a bit muddled up there, and then obviously the Ferrari, when we tried to pass them, obviously we made the mistake there. So yeah, combination of other people's mistakes and mine landed us in 5th, but still 5th is not the worst position in the world, especially considering the kind of speeds that some people were getting up to. And yeah, hopefully I've shown that this car is in some regards really rather good. So yeah, but trust me, I have won on Le Mans with that car before. It's just a shame I didn't get the chance to do so on this race this time round. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you've tried this Lotus out before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, and I'll see you with the next one. Bye.